Hello my dear friends, welcome to Sayana's channel. Thank you for choosing this video. Today we are with you with a scary and fascinating story from Iran. Iranian stories are really strangely scary. Please stay with us until the end of the video. This is the frightening tale of Maziar, a young man who crossed the threshold into a world where waking life was more terrifying than any nightmare. Maziar was a reckless youth neglecting his new wife, Sarah, in favor of endless drinking and wild companions. Sarah's warnings were ignored. His hedonism reached its peak the night he stumbled home drunk, causing Sarah to finally abandon him. He promised his father-in-law he would change, but soon broke that vow at a friend's wedding, diving back into the abyss of alcohol. The consequence was swift. Sarah was gone and her furious father denied him entry, calling him irresponsible and demanding divorce. Overwhelmed by humiliation and rage, Maziar drove aimlessly, the world turning black around him. He stopped in a desolate void. No buildings, no people, only absolute darkness enveloping the road. It was there in the oppressive silence that the horror began. A soothing voice whispered in his ear, promising a solution and insisting his wife was unworthy. Maziar glanced into his rearview mirror and saw him, a silent, middle-aged man with wild, curly hair escaping a large hat, sitting calmly in the back seat. The stranger reached out a hand and placed it on Maziar's shoulder. Maziar screamed in sheer terror, stopping the car completely. The man admitted he had boarded the vehicle minutes earlier when Maziar pulled over. When the interior light came on, Maziar saw the man's features, a strange redness and a beard speckled with white. Worst of all was the overpowering foul stench like a stable that filled the car. Maziar insulted the smell, and in response the man glared at him with furious, fixed eyes and reached out. Maziar lost consciousness instantly. He awoke to find himself in a long, narrow corridor, which led him to a terrifying landscape beneath a towering mountain. His car sat nearby, lights blazing. The red-bearded stranger was now seated by a small, flickering fire. When the stranger claimed Maziar had come willingly, panic set in. There was no road in sight and his phone showed no signal. He turned to ask for help, but the man had vanished. Then a chilling shout echoed from the mountaintop. "Come up! I want to talk to you." As Maziar climbed toward the voice, his phone was mysteriously shattered and fell from his grasp. The stranger, now holding a weak lantern, led him to a dark, gaping mouth in the mountainside, the entrance to a cave. A horrific smell, a blend of burning smoke and animal decay wafted out. Maziar refused to enter until he received answers. The stranger's eyes reflected the lantern light as he spoke Maziar's name. "The place where you are now is the gate to another world." To force understanding, the man gave Maziar a glass containing a strange-smelling liquid and ordered him to drink it in one gulp. Maziar complied, and immediately a horrific heat and severe pain ripped through his abdomen, rendering him unconscious again. He awoke in an antique, luxurious room, now dressed in a glittering, long shirt. A woman of unbelievable beauty sat before him, crowned with jewels, her long, wavy hair the color of gold. Outside the door, the red-bearded man was waiting. The man delivered the nightmare truth. The woman was one of the queens of the Jinn, and Maziar was being offered a life of happiness by marrying her. The location was one of the villages in the kingdom of the Red Jinn, Sork, a place of majestic, blood-red decorated buildings. He was led into a massive structure guarded by gigantic sentries, where dark, reddish-skinned beings sat around an impossibly large round table. His guide translated the shocking welcome. Maziar was to marry the Red Jinn Queen today. He was given another liquid, possibly the jinn's wine, which caused intense dizziness. He found himself in another chamber, facing a colossal, strange-faced figure with abnormally long arms. Behind him stood the terrifyingly beautiful queen in a long red dress. Believing it was all a dream, Maziar agreed to the marriage. The lights died in an instant, plunging the world into absolute darkness. Maziar found himself back on the mountain. He drove away, convinced it was a drink-induced nightmare. But as he fled, he saw a woman in black standing by the road. She claimed to be his wife. When he touched her, trying to push her away, she instantly dissolved into smoke and vanished. Ultimate terror followed. When he dared look in the rearview mirror, the same woman was sitting directly behind him, unmoving, as if he hadn't traveled an inch. Later, at a dilapidated gas station restroom, he looked in the mirror and saw strangulation marks on his neck. Red blotches like blood began to appear and spread across his white shirt. When he tore off the garment, his chest and stomach were covered in bruises and severe impacts. He knew he was living a true nightmare. After collapsing, he made it home and fell into a deep, disturbed sleep, plagued by strange voices whispering near his ear. He woke to the sight of a woman with a strange and terrifying figure lying next to him, staring. She transformed into the beautiful crowned queen, confirming the horrific truth. "I am your wife." "You are living reality," she declared with a smile. He gradually grew accustomed to the jinn's nightly visits, each time appearing in a different, shifting shape. He divorced Sarah and committed to a double life. Days with humans, nights with the jinn. His reckless life culminated in a horrific car accident where he struck a pedestrian. During his 20 days in jail, Maziar realized he was jinn-possessed, jinn-zada, and repented, turning to prayer and the Quran. But the jinn did not give up. In his dreams, the queen appeared on a burning hill, staring at him with threatening fury. Worse, two gigantic, faceless beings assaulted and tormented him in his sleep, leaving him with severe physical pain in his hands, feet, and ribs the following morning. Maziar was fighting a losing battle against evil. It took unwavering commitment to religion and ritual purity, wudu, before he was finally freed from the jinn's immediate grip. He was released from jail, a completely changed man, now dedicated to his faith. He returned to Sarah, receiving her and her father's forgiveness. They lived in peace. Yet the haunting question remains. Was the descent into the Red Jinn kingdom truly real, or a mere fevered delusion? Maziar and perhaps the readers will never truly know. My dear friends, it was a strange supernatural experience. If you like this type of stories, subscribe to the OminousShadow channel to be informed about the next videos. Thank you if you like the story, and leave your opinion about today's story in the comments. Until the next video and another scary experience, goodbye.